Hi guys, and welcome to my update video on my build for the Phrecia event. So as you can see, I'm playing a Wardloop again, this time obviously with other Ascendancy and different skill. Just wanted to show you the things I changed from the settlers build. So I'm playing an antiquarian this time around, since we have all the new ascendancies, and I think this one is by far the best option, just because of this simple node. Basically you could ignore the rest of the ascendancy completely, but only this simple node is just so strong, because it gives you so much more ward than any other class in the game. So yeah, the things I changed, probably the biggest thing is the setup. I am not using a staff anymore. This time I wanted to play the rolling Magma, and yeah, since we have all the nice and fun rune enchantments still this league, I really wanted to try rolling Magma with this rune enchant. So we are using a two-handed mace, because it's only for two-handed maces. So we get projectiles are fired in a random direction, which is super good for rolling Magma. It makes the single target much better. Yeah, and we are using crafted mace with a synthesized mace with +1 to socketed supports. Then we alt spammed it for the dot multi and got a random suffix, a second suffix. Then we just used cannot roll attacks, then so the suffix are full. Then you just slam on the +1 socketed gems, it's guaranteed. For the suffix, then you multi-mod, and then you can craft the +2 socketed gems and increased chaos damage. For the support gems, we obviously have the cast when damage taken. It gets a lot of levels, so you actually would only need a level 17, because it gets +4, and then it's level then would be level 21, so you could then still trigger level 72 gems, which the rolling Magma is a level 70, requires level 72. But the less damage goes down as well, but also the total damage you need to take goes up by a lot, so you could maybe only run one hardbound loop if you get it to level 17, and maybe I would have done this in the end, but I didn't really care enough. I didn't play a whole lot this league. I just wanted to get this build up and running, and now I'm already stopping to play. Then I have the enhanced, because it gets a lot of plus levels. It gives chains for rolling Magma. You can see 20% quality, so it gets one chain per 10 quality. So we have 11 chains. And Empower level 7, also plus 7 gem levels. Get a level 30 rolling Magma. And as you know, level 30 is what you want to aim for the any spell, because it gets the best benefits from the last few levels up to level 30. Like 27 to level 30 are the strongest levels. And then we have elemental focus, since we don't care about ignite, and it's just another big more multiplier and +1 levels. And the GMP is very nice for projectile poison builds, because we don't care about less projectile damage. You can basically ignore that. And we get 4 projectiles. Yeah, then another thing which is different, we have a lot of global defense on the Ascendancy. With this and all the small nodes, we get 150%. That means we don't really need to use a faith guard because we have all the percentage from the Ascendancy itself. So we can use a real helmet, which is really nice for poison builds because you can have the focus mod and you can have a nice implicit for a lot of duration. This is not really well crafted, but it's doing the job for now. Then we have the rare gloves. This is also nothing special, just a bit of ward and dex requirements and chaos rest. And the amulet is also not what I really want for endgame, but it's fixing my attributes right now. It has some dot multi and it gives us a 15% cull and some global defense. It's a really decent amulet, but for the high end game you want simplex or no focus base for, and then you want to mirror it with the mist, but it's really expensive, so I don't really have the money for that. But optimally would like to have plus four levels, so that's plus 2 from the amulet, and then you can mirror it for plus 4, and you want also dot multi, and then you craft projectile speed and projectile damage, and you want that to go negative, so we have like around a 70 or 80% reduced projectile speed, which is super good for rolling Magma single target, and I'm using these few nodes. The projectile damage is worthless for us, but I only use them for the reduced projectile speed. Yeah, and you would probably then drop all of this for if you have the amulet, or you can go for the projectiles. Increased damage with hits and ailments for each time they've changed is also really good for the mastery. And I think it's really nice to come down here instead of going there, because you basically get the same stuff and more, because you also have this mastery here for the poison mastery, and this is some really nice dot multi nodes. Then you also have all the access to a lot of good flask charge gain and duration stats, and you obviously convert all these small dex nodes to flask duration. You also have this cluster here, and then you put I'm using 2 large clusters, just chaos clusters, for the increased 30% increase to 30% increased nodes. Then you get the 2 flask duration clusters with increased effect and flask charge gained. You can also have, these are not well crafted, I fractured them myself, and this is decent. Chaos Rest could be better, but this one I wouldn't recraft probably, but this one I will. If I would still play, but you could have fasting on both of them, and then you can maybe drop like small nodes here, but you can also just go for something like all attributes, all res for suffixes, and increased damage for the prefix is nice. Then I have a lethal a brutal restraint here, which I only hit 2 notables in the area, and I want some flask charge gain, and then I want the onslaught on kill. This is the only way I can get onslaught in this build right now. So I just get 8 seconds on kill is also really nice. Normally it's only 4 seconds. Then yeah, you also have obviously traitor to get all your flask charges. And then since we don't have Faith Guard, we don't need to invest in any of the % energy shield nodes, and we still have a lot more energy shield than with my previous build. That's why Antiquarian is so nice. You also have the Adrenaline node, which you might think your ward wouldn't break because you're using Aura's Resolve, but we are using one with Savage Hit. So if it runs out, you have a tiny frame where you can actually die if something is hitting you in that window, in the 0.2 second window. But you will Savage Hit yourself if nothing kills you in that time, which most of the time it's not, but I have died a couple times. It's a bit annoying. But then you get free adrenaline, since any other node on this Ascendancy is basically wasted. This one is nice just for the global defense, and this one, yeah, I told you how we can make use of it, but it makes you vulnerable sometimes also, so it has a downside. But adrenaline is nice, it's move speed, it's damage, and it's also physical mitigation. And then we come here up for the flask charges gained and mind over matter to make us more resistant against damage over time. And yeah, this mastery is very nice for this build as well. Then we have another cluster with an Megalomaniac with Enduring Composure and Blessed Rebirth, and I also took this last node just for the AoE to hit a breakpoint for rolling Magma. The only thing that's not as good in the build is the AoE. If you could have more AoE, a little bit more AoE, it would have a lot more damage because the overlaps would be much greater. And then this is just random. The follow through is pretty nice because here we have so much chains. It's just a lot of damage. And then we get to our 20, we need exactly a 27 CDR. We get, it's the same way as my previous build. We get 24 from the Balance of Terror, and then the 3 that we lead is the last 3% we need. I get from a small Hypnotic Eye. And then we are using a Watcher's Eye with Clarity and Vitality this time, because if we can get a 20% recoup on this Watcher's Eye, we can drop these 3 nodes here, the Mastery and these 2. And then we use Vitality to increase the life recovery rate. Since the debuffs from Beacon of Madness reduce our life recovery by 90%, we work against this by using a Transcendence Flash and allocating all the small strength nodes in the radius. So we get like 27 life recovery from that, and at the moment 12 from that. So we only have like, how much is it? Like 50% reduced in the end, so we can still out-sustain a lot of damage over time. Then we have the Impossible Escape for the Whispers of Doom. This is the way I get my second curse right now, and then it also has Serpentine Spellslinger as a really nice node. And we allocate and we anoint the Infused Flash for damage recoup. In the end, if I can drop one Hardbound Loop, I would have one big mirrored reflected ring with a lot of recoup. That would be the best way. Then I could anoint something else also. That's basically it, I think. If you have enough money, you can also get Forbidden Flame and Flash for Aspect of Carnage would be nice, since you already have a lot of increased damage taken. Don't think it would be much of a difference, and 40% more damage is pretty strong. Yeah, I think I showed everything, and maybe the links. I have my damage taken set up all in my chest this time around. But it's basically the same thing as my build for 3.25. The rest I just wanted to play around with this enchant one time because it will be gone after this league ends probably, so... And it was really fun. I enjoyed this probably more than the Ice Nova and Frostbolt character. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will see you next time.